Okay, so this time I am making the floorboards for saoirse, and this is the template for the forward floorboard. I always make sure to mark out the bit that is being disposed of. I always use a template before I actually go and cut out the real piece. So then I have drawn the template onto the actual floorboard here, and I'm just beginning to cut it out. And this is the floorboard cut out for the first time and ready to just be fitted on. And you can see just how much more accurate it is when you do the mistakes on the template first. And then when it comes to using the actual bit of wood, you feel a bit more confident that it will fit. So once that is fitted, I always take all the sharp corners off the pieces. It makes it aesthetically pleasing and just very practical. There is no sharp edges. And this is cutting the floorboards to the correct size, and also it's just in any boat you want to be able to lift up the floorboards very easily without having too big of sections to lift up. So this is all the floorboards finished and now ready to be assembled. This is a little trick that I use to stop things moving. So once you have your floorboards in position, this little trick will keep it in position using a hot glue gun and 2 offcuts of wood, because it's very hard to take these out of the boat, assemble them and make them fit back in the exact way you want, as this little trick will make sure that it will fit back in the exact way you took it out. So I use 2 bits of wood just to make it a little bit more secure. So I'm doing this with a hot glue gun, and it's really easy to remove these 2 bits of wood once I have screwed the backing pad onto these floorboards. I'm just making sure it's dry before I pull it out. This was a tricky floorboard, there was a lot to notch around. Okay, so I've already made up these 2 backing pads. They're made out of larch as well. All the floorboards are larch. And I've also taken all the sharp edges away from these backing pads using a router. I'm also gluing these down with the hot glue gun, which just makes it so much easier to screw into. So then I flipped it back over again, and I am drilling out for the screws to go in. If anything I screw, I use a pilot and a clearance hole, There's nothing worse than doing this and then breaking or cracking your floor afterwards. The bronze screws. Then you can see just how easy it is to knock off these bits of wood afterwards. They just pop right off. And there's a little bit of cleanup, but it is not that much. So this is a very traditional way of doing floorboards. A lot of people nowadays would use plywood, but if anyone has a traditional boat and wants to do floorboards the old-fashioned way, this works great, doing it like this. So that is the final piece set into its place now. You gotta dance on it, make sure that it is solid. And that's it, ready to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this